Addressing the offensive line is a priority for the Ravens as they build this roster for the upcoming season. I fully expect them to use some of their draft capital on offensive linemen in this class, and I would not be surprised if they end up using a first-round pick on a lineman. Now, here are two players who I think could make sense for the Ravens in this year's draft on the offensive line. The first one that I'll point to is Penn State guard Vega Ioni. Talked to Daniel Jeremiah here at the NFL Scouting Combine. He said that Ioni is the best offensive lineman in this year's class. He's 6'4", 323 pounds. He's exactly what you want in an offensive guard. He's a plug-and-play starter for whoever drafts him in the first round. If the Ravens are there at pick number 14 and he's on the clock and they have the opportunity to get the best guard in this draft, I think that could be a situation where you run the card up there and turn it in. He can come in and be a day one starter potentially for this team. He has that kind of ability. And a lot of times players who aren't at the premier positions, they aren't a corner, they aren't a pass rusher, they're not a quarterback, they can fall down the board a little bit, and then teams who end up taking them get really good players at positional value. The Ravens did that with Tyler Linderbaum. They did that with Kyle Hamilton. Look at what Seattle did last year. They took guard Gray Zabel in the first round. He turned out to be a great pick for them. There's all kinds of examples of that, and I would not be surprised if the Ravens have an opportunity to do that with Ioni, and it could be a great fit for them if they choose to go that route. Now, if they wait until the second day of the draft, and a really interesting prospect for them would be Chase Bontus, an offensive guard out of Texas A&M. 6'5", 320 pounds, only 21 years old, but has a lot of experience under his belt. Came in as a freshman in the SEC, started right away for Texas A&M. He's a powerful downhill run blocker who can come in and be a force on an offensive line, really help pave the way for that running game. And if he's there in the second round for the Ravens, then I think he could be a great fit for this team. So those are two players who I think could be good fits for the Ravens in this year's draft if they decide to go offensive line early in this class.